Good evening, Strat O Maticers. Welcome to Game 2 of this 2021 series between the Minnesota Twins and Cleveland Guardians. Game 1 was posted the other day, so if you're interested to see what happened in that game, please watch that video. Interesting start to the series. Cleveland pummeled the Twins 9-3 behind a solid pitching performance by Tristan McKenzie, and Randy Dobnik for the Twins got the start and didn't make it past the second inning. So fun game, some interesting dynamics took place. Cleveland has a 1-0 lead in this 3-game set. So for today's game, let's go ahead and get started on the introduction of the lineups. Your pitchers today for the Minnesota Twins are Kenta Maeda. He's the right-handed pitcher. See him over here on the left. He's got a point of weakness of 5, fielding error rating of 3 and 13, balk rating of 0, wild pitch of 6. So don't expect any balks from Maeda, but we could see a wild pitch or two. Throws from the right side again, hold rating of -2. We will be using the designated hitter in this game, so his bunting rating shouldn't come into effect at all. But Maeda was a really decent starter for the Twins. I would say he was probably their number one guy in 2021. It's kind of not saying a whole lot, but Maeda did do a nice job for them and did spend majority or all of the 2022 season on the IR after having, I think, Tommy John surgery. So then for the Cleveland Indians, and we do refer to them as the Indians, being that their official name change took place in 2022 to the Guardians, the Indians have one of the elite pitchers in the major league, Shane Bieber, on the mound today. He throws from the right side. I was just looking up some interesting information about Bieber. He was a 2019, a 2020, and a 2021 All-Star. The 2020 game didn't take place because of the pandemic, but he would have had 3 All-Star appearances back-to-back. In his first All-Star game in 2019, he turned out to be the All-Star MVP. He also won the American League Cy Young Award in 2020, albeit it was a shortened season because of the pandemic, but still a really nice accomplishment for Bieber. So I'm excited that the Twins get to face him today. I think he's just an awesome pitcher. And to boot, he was a 2022 Gold Glove winner this past season as well. So he's the total package. So it should be fun seeing what the Twins can do against him today in our game. So if we look at Bieber's card, he's got a point of weakness inning of 6. An excellent defensive setup for him. He's got a 1 fielding rating, a 0 error rating. No opportunities for a balk. He will throw a wild pitch to 1 on 11 or less. And he's a right-handed pitcher, and he has a hold rating of -1. So we'll see what he's able to do against this Twins lineup today. I would expect a lot of strikeouts by the Twins. It's going to be a hard game for them to win unless they can get to Bieber early, but we'll see. So our lineups for the teams, we'll start with the Twins. Pretty similar to what we had in the game the other day with the first game of the series. Luis Arraez, left-handed hitter, will be batting first. He's playing second base. He was the American League batting champ in 2022, and he had a pretty darn solid 2021 as well. Josh Donaldson is next, hitting from the right side, playing third. Max Kepler, hitting from the left side, is DH. Miguel Sano is batting cleanup, batting from the right side, playing first. Alex Kirilloff is back and right. He's a left-handed hitter. He has a -1 arm rating. Garber is getting a break today, so it's Williams Astudillo. La Tortuga is playing catcher. He has a +1 arm. So when we look at that battery combination of Maeda's -2 with Astudillo's arm of +1, we're only going to have a -1 for the pitcher-catcher combo for stolen base attempts. So that should help out for some of the speedier Indians players. Astudillo has a pass ball rating of 9 and a throwing error rating of a 1-4. he is a 4 and a 1 when it comes to defense. Trevor Larnach, back in left field, hits from the left side. His arm is 0. And then we have Ref Snyder playing in center again. Bats from the right side, +1 arm. So overall, not the greatest arm strength in the outfield for the Twins today. And then batting in the 9 spot is Andrelton Simmons at shortstop, hitting from the right side. And again, we have Kenta Maeda on the mound. So we are playing super advanced rules. Ballpark effects are in play. I should go through those real quick too. This is a historical lineup from baseballreference.com, playing the game that the Twins and Indians played on the 22nd of February, and that should be 2021. All right, and so the start time was 4:10. Time of game was 3 hours 34 minutes. It did take place on a Saturday. Again, we're coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland. 11,505 paid attendance for the game. Ballpark effects are in play. We are playing super advanced. And we'll run through Progressive Field's ballpark pieces here. So for both left and right-handed batters, a 1 through 8 is going to result in a single. Otherwise, a respective out to either second base or shortstop. And then the ballpark effects for home runs are 1 through 10 will be a successful home run. 11 or greater will result in an out to either right or left. We are playing the rule about the outfielders robbing the batter of a home run. So technically a home run could occur on an 11 or less. If you're familiar with that rule, and if it comes up, we'll be sure to explain it. So those are your Minnesota Twins. A little bit of backstory about Progressive Field as well. Let's look at the Cleveland Indians. Very similar lineup to Game 1. They scored 9 runs in that affair. Had to take some creative liberty as I didn't have strat cards for all the players who played in this game, which is a bit surprising because I bought the expanded set as well. But oh well, what are you going to do? So we have Andres Jimenez leading off, batting from the left side. He's at second. Former Twin Eddie Rosario is in left field. Rosario was traded to the Braves halfway through the 21 campaign. So he's got a few more weeks in an Indians uniform, and then he'll head over to the Braves and be a part of that World Championship team. Made a huge difference in the 2021 playoffs as well. I think he was the Championship Series MVP, if I'm not mistaken. Eddie Rosario batting second, left field, hitting from the left side, -2 on the arm. Jose Ramirez, switch hitter, batting third, playing third base. We have Franmil Reyes, super powerful DH, batting fourth from the right side. Josh Naylor, playing right field, hitting from the left side. He's got a -1 arm. Got Harold Ramirez playing first base, hitting from the right side. We can ignore that +1. Brad Zimmer playing center, -3 arm, hitting from the left side. Ahmed Rosario is playing short, bats from the right side. And the catcher, Austin Hedges, is the number 9 hitter. Hedges has a pass ball opportunity of a 1, throwing error of a 1 to 3, but he does have a -2 arm. So you couple that with Bieber's -1 hold rating, and so the Twins, anyone who's going to steal, is going to have a -3 pitcher-catcher combination on that stolen base attempt. So those are your Cleveland Indians for today's game. Interested to see how this one plays out. Let's roll some dice. Luis Arraez is going to get the Twins started out here in the top of the first. Arraez was 0 for 5 in Game 1. Very uncharacteristic of him to have an 0 for like that. We'll see what he's able to do here in the second game. Pitch from Bieber is a 4 and a 7 against the left-handed batter, and that is a strikeout. So Arraez strikes out for the first out of the game. Got the number 2 batter, Josh Donaldson, up next. Donaldson had a solo home run in the Game 1 performance. That's a 3 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher. Results in a single, 1-7, a line out, 8-20. So that's a line out to shortstop. So 2 down right away for Bieber and the Indians. Got Max Kepler up next. Kepler was 0 for 5 in Game 1. Top part of the lineup didn't do a whole lot other than Donaldson home run and a single. Top 4 batters really didn't do a whole lot in that game yesterday. Pitch to Kepler with 2 down. It's a 3 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher, is a line out to second base. So Bieber makes short work of the Twins. And they go down 1-2-3. And after a half inning, it's Minnesota 0, Cleveland 0. Andres Jimenez is going to get the Indians started. Jimenez had a nice game in Game 1. Started the game with 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple, and then he had a walk later in the game, so he was officially 2 for 4. He was able to score 3 runs as well. So Jimenez is up, and let's get Jimenez's card out. There you go. Nice looking card. And our pitch, a 1 and an 8 against the right-handed batter. 1 and an 8 is a ground ball, second base B. So that's out number 1 for Maeda. Eddie Rosario is up next. Got a righty-lefty duo here. Rosario was 3 for 4 in Game 1. He had a couple singles and a double, scored twice. That's a 2 and a 10 against a right-handed pitcher. That's going to be a ballpark effect single. So on a roll of 1 to 8, Rosario is going to end up with a single, and that's a 5. So Rosario is on base with 1 out. Brings up switch hitting Jose Ramirez. Ramirez was hit by a pitch and had a couple of singles. Overall went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored in Game 1. I'm going to roll for a good lead here. See if we can't get a stolen base out of Rosario. So a 4 or a 6 will result in a good lead. Here's a good lead. So no random event. So Rosario has a good lead, so he's compelled to steal. He was being held. Forgot to put Rosario's baseball card out there. Put Ramirez out there though. Chugging. Looks like he's ready to round probably third to go home. So Rosario has an 18 as his base chance. We've got him being held. Ramirez is hitting from the left side, so we have Sano and Simmons holding Rosario at first. Maeda has a -2, and Estudillo has a +1. That's going to be a -1 for the pitcher-catcher modifier. So that's going to bring it down to a 17. He is being held, so we subtract another 2 on that, so it's a 15. So a 15 or less, Rosario is going to steal second successfully. That's a 5. So Rosario picks up a stolen base. And he is at second. So the Indians have a runner in scoring position. Rosario will not be held. Infield is going to play normal. They're going to try to ensure that they can at least get Ramirez, maybe hold Rosario at second. That's a 6 and a 6 for Ramirez. He's batting left-handed. 6 and a 6 results in a walk. So Maeda gives up a hit followed by a walk. Puts Ramirez on first. So now Indians have runners on first and second, and they've got Ramirez up next. Reyes had a single and a couple strikeouts in game 1. Infield is playing normal, looking to get that double play if we can. So here we go. That's a 1. So we have a potential wild pitch. Maeda will throw a wild pitch on a 6 or less. That's a 5. So the wheels are falling off the bus. Rosario goes to third on the wild pitch. Ramirez goes to second, breaks up the chance for a double play. Alright, I'm going to roll again here. Reyes is going to swing away infield's position normally. That's a 3 and an 8. That will be a 3 and an 8 is a single, 1 to 6. Ground ball second base A, 7 to 20. That's a 9. So that's a ground ball second base A. We have runners on second and third is a 5. If hit to second base shortstop, batters out, runners advance 1 base. And that was indeed hit to our second baseman. So Rosario is going to score. Ramirez is going to go to third, and Franmil is going to be out 4-3, second out of the inning, but he does pick up an RBI, and the Indians have a 1-0 lead. Maeda has his first run allowed, and that is an earned run. Josh Naylor is up next. Naylor was 0 for 4 in game 1. He did have a ground ball, though, that did result in an RBI being knocked in. Forgot to roll this. So that is a 1 and a 4 against a right-handed pitcher. A 1 and a 4 is a single, 1 to 5. Ground out first base, 6 to 20. So that's a ground out first base. Score that 3-1, and that is the third out. Indians do get 1 though, and after 1 complete, it's the Indians 1 and the Twins 0. Top of the second, Miguel Sano is up for the Twins. Sano in game 1 had a solo home run, had a walk, and a strikeout. So he was 1 for 3. His home run was only a solo shot though, but did account for one of the Twins' 3 runs for that game. Bieber's working a clean game so far. See how he's able to continue here. It's a 5 and 11 against the right-handed Sano. 5 and 11 is a fly ball left field X. Left fielder is let's see here, Eddie Rosario. So that's a 4 and a 2. I should know that. Rosario was one of my favorite Twins players. So it's a 4 and a 2 as his fielding error rating. So that's a 5. It's going to be an SI2. And the 2 is a 14. So that's an SI2, so that's going to be a single. We have no runners on. So Sano will stop at first. Twins have a base runner. Brings up the left-handed hitting Alex Kirilloff. Be a great pro wrestler name. Now entering the ring at 210 pounds, Alex Kirilloff. Alright, Snow is no threat to run here. Infield's going to play back, looking for that, or at normal depth, looking to get that double play ball. That's a 4 and an 8 against the left-handed hitter, and that's a triple, 1 to 2, or a double, 3 to 20. That's a double, and that is to center field. So let's get Kirilloff on base. So Kirilloff goes to second. Sano's on third. So we could advance. So I'm just going to do some calculations here to see what that might look like. I guess we could put Kirilloff back there. In center field for the Indians, we have Brad Zimmer. He's got a -3 arm. We're not going anyplace. Sano's going to play it safe at third. We're not going to make the first out at home. The good news for the Twins, though, is they've been able to get to Bieber here in the second. Let's see if they can get a run in. So Kirilloff is down on second base. We have Astudillo. I don't have a card for him, so I'm just going to do this. So Astudillo is up. Right, let's see what happens here. Infield is playing normal. Right-handed hitter. That's a 5 and a 5. Against a right-handed batter is a strikeout. So Astudillo goes down. First out recorded. Brings up Trevor Larnach next. Larnach was 1 for 2, but he was hit by pitch twice by 2 different pitchers in game 1. Kind of an interesting situation there. So infield will be playing normal. We have 1 down. That's a 3 and a 6 against the right-handed Bieber. 3 and a 6 is a hit by pitch again. Wow. So Larnach is hit by a pitch, third time in 2 games. Hard to not take that personal, I suppose, at this point. So Larnach is going to go to first. And we have Rob Refsnyder up next. Bases loaded. Not much of a bunter. Indians are not going to play corners in. They're going to play back, hoping for that double play. I'm just going to pitch away to Rob Refsnyder and see what happens here. So that's a 1. So we have a potential wild pitch. Bieber throws a wild pitch on an 11 or less. And that's a wild pitch. Wow. So Sano's going to score on that wild pitch. Kirilloff is going to go to second. To third. Larnach is going to second. So Sano comes home. Kirilloff is going to third. Larnach is going to go to second. Double play ball is taken away. And Refsnyder is still in the batter's box. So the Twins tied it up on that wild pitch by Bieber. Charged earned run. Alright, Refsnyder's going to swing away. That's a 1 and a 9 against a right-handed pitcher. A 1 and a 9 is a strikeout. So second strikeout of the inning, third of the game for Bieber. That's going to bring Simmons up next. So Simmons was 1 for 4 with a single in game 1. Infield is playing normal. We've got 2 outs. That's a 1 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher. It's going to be a ground ball back to Bieber, and he's going to retire Simmons 1-3. So the Twins are able to tie the score with a wild pitch by Shane Bieber, and after 1.5, it's the Twins 1 and the Guardians/Indians 1. Tie game as we go into the bottom of the second. Harold Ramirez is up for the Indians. Ramirez went 1 for 4 with a single in game 1. Got a righty-righty matchup here. So it's a 5 and a 7. 5 and a 7 is a single to right field. So Ramirez, it's a leadoff single. Second hit of the game offered up by Maeda. Brings up the left-handed hitting center fielder Brad Zimmer. Love this card. Nice action pose. Smile for the camera, Zimmer. Click. Alright, so Ramirez is on. Just thinking here if we're going to do anything with our base running. No, we're gonna leave Ramirez there, but the Twins would hold him. So Zimmer's a left-handed batter, so that means that our shortstop Simmons is going to hold him. So they're holding Ramirez at first. Bit of a speedster. He's 1 for 14 on the running rating. Let's see what happens here. We got Zimmer. We'll put Zimmer's card back up there. Here we go. That's a 5 and a 4 against the left-handed batter. 5 and a 4 is a fly ball center field X. That's going to be to Refsnyder. Refsnyder is a 4 and a 4. That's a 7 and a 9. So a 7 is going to be an SI2. And we'll just check the error number here. And that's a blank, so it's an SI2, so it's a single, runners advance 2 bases. So Zimmer gets a single, moves Ramirez over to third. Maeda is given back-to-back singles up. So we move Ramirez there. Zimmer's going to go to first. That's going to bring up Ahmed Rosario. Rosario was 1 for 4. He had a solo home run in the 8th inning in game 1. So looking at Zimmer's stealing ratings, I'd kind of like to get him over to second base. Good lead on a 5 or a 6. So I'm going to see if I can't get that good lead. He is being held on base. He has the asterisk. So I almost always, when there's an asterisk, hold the runner. So there we go. Alright, let's see if he gets that good lead. He needs a 5 or a 6. And I rolled a 7. So he did not get the good lead, but he remains held on base. Got Ramirez and Sano working together to do that. Pitch to Rosario. That's a 6 and a 4. It's a righty-righty matchup. 6 and a 4 is a ground ball, third base X. So that was not hit to either of our guys holding the base runner. So our third baseman is Donaldson. Good for the Twins that they've got a decent third baseman over there, 324. Pretty average, but one of their better fielding defensive players. Alright, let's roll for this. So that's a 13 and a 7, 13, 13, 13. Easy to remember. So a 13 is a G2 and a 24 for a third baseman. And a 13 does not result in an error. So we have a G2 roll with runners on the corners. So the infield is normal, so that's a forced play. Batter safe, runner at first is out, going to second, other runners advance one base. Alright, so that's a fielder's choice. That's going to be a 5-4. So Zimmer's out, 5-4, that's 1. Rosario goes to first. Ramirez scores. And the Indians have a 2-1 lead. So Rosario picks up the RBI. Ramirez scores. And we've got Austin Hedges, the Cleveland catcher, at the plate. I'm going to roll for a good lead with Rosario. I need a 4 to be able to do that. Ooh, look at that. So that's a 3. So I just missed that, but we did have a random play. So I need to check my rules here, because in my old age I forget to what some of these numbers mean. So I rolled a 2. Possible balk. Well, not possible with Kenta Maeda on the mound. He has a 0 for a rating, so we're going to ignore that. So he doesn't get the good lead. So he is still being held, however. So we have a rise and Sano holding him. We're going to roll for the pitch. That's a 4, a 6, excuse me, an 8 and a 4. Righty-righty matchup. 4 and an 8 is a single, 1 to 14. Line out, third base, 15 to 20. That's an 11, so that's a single. So Hedges gets a hit. It's going to move Rosario over to second. That was a single with 1 asterisk. And we are back at the top of the Indians lineup. And the second baseman, Andres Jimenez, up. So we've got runners at first and second. We have 1 out. And Just look at my board over here. Yep, Ramirez is up. He grounded out 4-3 in the first. Infield is playing normal, looking for a double play here. That's a 3 and a 6 against a right-handed pitcher. A 3 and a 6 is a home run, 1-6, a double, 7-20. That's a 2, so that is a home run. Jimenez smacks one into right field. That's going to score Rosario and Hedges. That'll give Jimenez 3 RBIs. Wow. All right. Maeda is in a bad spot. This is the second game in a row where the Indians batters have gotten to the Twins pitchers early in the game. So I need to get my bullpen going. So one of the things, 2 things. One, I keep track of the relievers from the previous game. So I do use the Strat O Matic rules for rest. And then I do have my relievers warm up for 2 batters before they come into the game. So I'm just going to go here. Yesterday, Shoemaker, Barnes, and Jax were the Twins relievers that came in for Dobnak. Just looking to see who we've got available here. Ooh. Right-handed pitchers are pretty weak at this point for my early relief. Got John Gant, right-handed pitcher, +9 hold rating. Hate to put him on the mound if I have to. And then we have Charlie Barnes, who pitched in the game yesterday, is going to rest, so that means we're going to go into our short relief for our lefties here. We're going to bring Daniel Colombe up. He'll be our lefty warming up in the pen. Alright, so Maeda needs to get through these next 2 batters here. There's 1 out. Bases are clear. Jimenez hit the 3-run blast. We've got Eddie Rosario up next. I mentioned earlier that Rosario got traded to the Braves prior to the trade deadline. Here's his Atlanta Braves card. So it's a 1 and a 6 against the right-handed pitcher as they pop out to second base. And that's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. Ramirez walked in the first, batting from the left side. That's a 1 and an 11 against a right-handed pitcher. That's going to be a double, 1-15, a single, 16-20. So that's a single. So Maeda is going to come out of the game. And I'm going to bring in I don't want to bring that right-hander in. I'm going to bring in Colombe to pitch for Maeda. So Maeda is taken out. Numbers on Colombe. Left-handed pitcher. He has a POW of 2 for being a reliever. 2 and a 0 for defense. No walk, no wild pitch, no balk, no wild pitch opportunities here. -2 hold rating, and again he does pitch from the left side. So Ramirez is on first. That's going to bring Franmil Reyes up. So Reyes grounded out 4-3. Ramirez will be held. Jeez. Reyes. is a right-handed hitter, so Ramirez is going to help out. That's a 6 and a 9 against a right-handed batter. 6 and a 9 is an N, home run 1 to 4, a double 5 through 20. Well, Reyes is an N against left-handed pitchers. So a home run 1 to 4, a double 5 to 20. That's a home run. Roll to 3. And Maeda is no longer in the game. Well, heck. So Reyes comes in, gets to the plate, hits a home run. It's going to score Ramirez. That's Reyes' second RBI, second and third RBI of the game. Boy, things are not going well for the Twins. It's going to bring Josh Naylor to the plate. Got a lefty-lefty matchup here. 2 down. It's a 6 and a 6. Against the left-handed batter is a strikeout. So the bleeding stops. Third out recorded. Indians score 6 to take a 7-1 lead after 2. Top of the third. Cleveland put a beating on the Twins in the bottom of the second, scoring 6 runs. A couple home runs, one out by Andres Jimenez, another by Franmil Reyes. Knocked Kenta Maeda out of the game after 1 2/3 inning pitched. The line on Maeda: 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts. He did have the wild pitch, which extended the first inning. However, really poor outing. That's the second game in a row now that the Cleveland team has gotten to the starting pitcher of the Twins early. Dobnik did not go past the second inning in the first game as well. So let's see if the Twins can come back. They're going to start off with their leadoff hitter, Luis Arraez. Arraez struck out in the first. Bieber still on the mound. Bieber has a solid game going for the Indians. So that's a 5 and a 2 against a left-handed batter. 5 and a 2 is a ballpark effect home run. So Arraez might be able to get one of those runs back with a home run. So a lefty needs a 1 through 10 to be able to hit a ballpark effect home run. That's a 14. So he flies out to right field. F9 for Arraez. Makes him 0 for 7 so far in the series. So Arraez is mired in a bit of a slump. It's going to bring up the right-handed hitting Josh Donaldson next. Donaldson lined out to short in his first at bat. It's a 4 and a 4. It's a right-handed batter, and that is a fly ball, center field X. So that's hit to Zimmer. Zimmer is a 2 and a 2 defensively, so a better than average defensive center fielder. It's a 12 and an 8. Looking at the super advanced fielding chart, that results in an F2. That is a blank on the error section. So there's a flyout. So Donaldson is out. That's our second out recorded of the inning. It's going to bring up Max Kepler. Kepler's going to see what he can do here. Kepler lined out to second in the first. See See if he can't get something going here. 2-out rally for the Twins. That's a 6 and a 2. Kepler's a left-handed batter. 6 and a 2 is a split. On a 1, it's a single. 2 through 20, a line out second base. So that's a line out to second. So the Twins go down 1-2-3. That's the second 1-2-3 inning for Bieber. And after 2.5, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. So the Indians are going to have Harold Ramirez up next. They did bat through the order in the bottom of the second. Ramirez is 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored in the second. He had got the hit parade started for the Indians. I did not have a Topps card for him out of the factory set for Harold Ramirez, although I did notice in the Top Heritage that he had a card there, but I didn't pull it out. I didn't have any doubles there. So, alright, Ramirez is up. Right-handed batter against the left-handed hurler Daniel Colombe. That's a 6 and an 8. 6 and an 8 is a double. So Ramirez is 2 for 2. Both of his hits are leadoff hits. I'm going to put Colombe back on the mound. Sorry about that, gang. There we go. Now we're copacetic. Alright, we're going to get the Twins bullpen going here. We do have John Gant, the right-handed relief pitcher, warmed up. He's ready to come into the game. Just going to look at my lefties here. See what we have available to us. The only problem with the Twins relief pitchers is that they're a little bit light on left-handed hurlers, and the number of innings that their lefties can pitch, they have a point of weakness of 1. So they're not going to give you many innings, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to go with a lefty early in the game. So we're going to keep Gant warmed up. He's a righty ready to go if needed. Alright, so we have a runner on second. We've got Zimmer at the plate. Ramirez is a pretty good base runner. Zimmer hits from the left side. So we're going to hold Ramirez. It's going to be the shortstop, Simmons, that does so. Excuse me, have the hiccups. That's going to be a 5 and an 8 against the left-handed Bradley. Zimmer, 5 and an 8 is a strikeout. So first out recorded, second strikeout for Colombe. Ramirez is still going to be held. It's going to bring up the right-handed hitting Rosario. So Arias will hold Ramirez at second. Rosario hit into a fielder's choice in the second, also scored a run. So that's a 6 and a 5 against the left-handed, right-handed batter. A 6 and a 5 is a strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for the Twins reliever. It's going to bring up Austin Hedges. Twins are going to play normal. Take off the hold of runner of Ramirez. That's a 1 and a 5. Hedges bats from the right side of the plate against a left-handed Colombe. 1 and a 5 is a strikeout. So that's 3 strikeouts in a row. Sends the Indians down After they get the leadoff double by Ramirez, at the end of 3, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Miguel Sano is going to try to get something going for the Twins. He had a single in the second, advanced on a wild pitch and was able to score. Only run allowed so far by Shane Bieber. We had a lefty-righty matchup here in the roll. A 1 and an 8 against the right-handed Bieber is a strikeout. That's a 4th strikeout issued by Bieber, and Sano goes down. It's going to bring up the left-handed batter Alex Kirilloff, playing right field for the Twins. Kirilloff had a double in the second, and actually Sano scored on a wild pitch, excuse me. So Kirilloff is up. That's a 5 and a 5. Against the left-handed batter is a strikeout. So both pitchers settling into a groove here over the last inning. Colome retired 3 Indians batters in the 3rd on strikeout, and Bieber so far has 2 strikeouts in this inning. So we have Astudillo up next. La Tortuga struck out in the second. It's a 5 and a 5 against the right-handed batter, and that's a strikeout. So between the 2 pitchers, we've had 6 consecutive strikeouts, and the Twins go down in the top half of the 3rd. Three up, 3 down for Bieber, and at the end of 3 and a half, Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Colome is back on the mound. Cleveland's at the top of their order. So Colome did reach his point of weakness out the last inning, so he's now vulnerable to fatigue. I like to keep him in as long as we can here, just to ensure that we're not going through 6 relief pitchers in this game. So Jimenez is 1 for 2 with a home run in the second. It's a 3 and a 4 against the left-handed pitcher. 3 and a 4 is a ground ball, shortstop B. So it's a ground out, 6-3 for the first out. Ramirez is down. Got Eddie Rosario up next. Rosario is 1 for 2 with a single. He did have a stolen base in the first as well. So it's a 5 and a 9. Lefty-lefty matchup. 5 and a 9 is a strikeout. So that's a 4th strikeout for Colome. So 2 down. It's going to bring up the switch hitting Jose Ramirez. Ramirez is 1 for 1. He had a walk in the first, a single in the second. It's a 2 and an 11 against the left-handed pitcher. 2 and 11 is a ground ball, first base C. So we're going to score that at 3 unassisted. And that's in the second 1-2-3 inning for Colome. After 3 and a half, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Top of 5, Trevor Larnach's at the plate. Larnach was hit by a pitch in the second. As I mentioned earlier, 3rd time in this 2-game series, Larnach has been plunked. So kind of an interesting line on him. Twins are trailing 7-1. Bieber is in his Bieber groove. 5 and a 5. It's the left-handed hitting Larnach, and that is a strikeout. So Bieber's just mowing the Twins batters down. That's his 5th strikeout of the game. Rob Refsnyder is up next. Refsnyder struck out in the 2nd. It's a 2 and a 7 against the right-handed Bieber. 2 and a 7 is a fly ball center field B. So an F8. It's going to bring up Simmons, the number 9 hitter for the Twins. Simmons grounded out 1-3 in the 2nd. It's a 5 and a 5. It's another strikeout for Bieber. So Twins go down 1, 2, 3. 2 of those outs are strikeouts. Makes 5 out of the last 6 outs for Cleveland Bieber strikeouts. Pretty dang impressive. Love that guy. So after 4.5, it's the Indians 7 and the Twins 1. In the comment section, be curious what you think about the baseball cards being thrown into this. I think it's kind of fun. Adds a little bit of a different dimension to the game. Adds another thing to do, which can get kind of challenging sometimes when you have a lot of action going on, but I think it's kind of fun. It just adds something to the presentation. Alright. Franmil Reyes is up next. 1 for 2 on the day, hit a home run in the 2nd inning. That was the first batter that Colombe faced. Back to the point of weakness for Colombe. He will reach fatigue after the 2nd out here in the 5th, but he's done a really nice job coming in relief of Kenta Maeda. See what happens with Reyes. So that's a 6 and an 11 against the right-handed hitting Reyes. 6 and 11 is a ballpark effect single. So we are in progressive field where a 1 through 8 will result in a base hit. Otherwise it'll be a line out to the shortstop. That's a line out to the shortstop. Twins do have John Gant ready to go in the bullpen. He's a righty. Not that excited to bring him into the game, but it's his turn in the rotation. Have Josh Naylor up next. Naylor is 0 for 2 on the day. He had a strikeout in the 2nd, grounded out 3-1 in the 1st. It's a 1 and a 3 against a left-handed pitcher. That's going to be a ground ball, first base C. So we'll score that 3-1. 2nd out recorded. So Colombe is now at the fatigue level. He's pitched 2 innings past his initial point of weakness opportunity, or the start of it. So he's done. I'm going to give him one more batter here. Actually, I'm going to bring in Gant to face the right-handed hitting Harold Ramirez. So Colombe is done. Great outing by Colombe. We'll get you the line on him after the inning is over with. So Colombe leaves the game. And bring in the right-handed hurling John Gant. What I didn't like about Gant's card is that he's got the +9 hold rating, which, with a good lead, more or less assures that the runner is going to be able to get to second base. So, at this point in the game, Twins are down by 6 runs. Probably not that big a deal, but not overly impressed with John Gant. He was 5 and 11 in 2021, 4.09 ERA. At 21 starts, he did have 110 innings pitched, 92 strikeouts, 71 walks, so a high walk number there. But like I said, it's his turn, and the analytics said to bring him in. So Gant has a point of weakness of 3. He's got a fielding of 226, which is above average. Balk opportunity is 0, wild pitch of 5. Does throw from the right side, and he has that dreadful hold rating of +9. So there's 2 outs. He's coming in to face Harold Ramirez. Infield is playing normal. It's a 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5 against a right-handed pitcher is a triple 1-3, a single 4-20. Oh my gosh. So Ramirez is just eating up Twins pitching today. We'll get you an updated line on Ramirez here. So that's a triple for Ramirez. So Gant, first batter he faced, gives up a triple. Interestingly enough, Ramirez has a single, a double, and a triple so far in this game. So Ramirez reaches third with a 2-out triple. He's going to bring up Brad Zimmer. Actually, we're going to leave that there. We do have a card for Zimmer. There we go. Infield's normal. It's a 2 and a 3. Against the right-handed pitcher is a ground ball, second base A. So Gant is able to avoid giving up an additional Indian run after that triple by Ramirez. And at the end of 4.5, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Top of the 6th, Cleveland 7, Twins 1. Bieber has reached his point of weakness inning. He has not achieved fatigue yet. However, he is vulnerable should he give up in one inning 3 hits, walks, or combination thereof. So Francona does not have the Indians bullpen up and going yet. Just going to see how long and how far he can ride Bieber in this game. So Luis Arraez is up. Arraez is 0 for 2 in this game, 0 for 7 in the series. Need to get that 0 for spell broken for Arraez. So that's a 4 and a 6 against the left-handed batter, and that is a walk. So Bieber issues a walk to Arraez. And the Twins, for the first time in 4 innings, have their leadoff hitter on base. It's going to bring up Donaldson next. Donaldson is 0 for 2. Arraez is not much of a stealing threat. Going to play infield normal, hoping for that double play, so he's not being held. It's a 4 and a 12 against a right-handed batter. Ballpark effect home run, 1-9. Fly out left field, 10 through 20. That's a 12. So that is a fly ball to left field. And that's 1 out. That was a deep hit ball by Donaldson. It's going to bring up Max Kepler next. Kepler's 0 for 2. Infield is playing normal. It's a 3 and a 6 against the right-handed pitcher. 3 and a 6 is a line out to second base. Second out recorded. It's going to bring up Miguel Sano. Snow is 1 for 2. He did score on a wild pitch in the second, struck out in the fourth. Infield is playing normal. Say 2 and a 6 against the right-handed pitcher is a strikeout. So second strikeout for Snow of the game. The Twins, after a leadoff walk drawn by Ramirez, go down 1-2-3, and after 5.5, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Did find a card for Gant. Had a chance to look for it between innings. Ahmed Rosario is up for Cleveland. Rosario is 1 for 2. Or excuse me, Rosario is 0 for 2. Hit into a fielder's choice in the second, struck out in the third. Be his first time facing Gant in this game. The pitch. Say 2 and an 11. Gant is a right-handed pitcher. 2 and 11 is a ground ball pitcher B. So that's going to be scored a 1-3 on that putout. It's going to bring up Austin Hedges, the Indians catcher, next. Hedges is 1 for 2, single in the second, strikeout in the third. It's a 5 and a 6 against the right-handed batter, and that is a walk. So Hedges gets a 1-out walk, puts him at first base. We're going to have the top of the order with Andres Jimenez up next. So I'm not going to steal with Hedges, but just to show you the impact of that +9 hold rating by Gant, you would take, in this case, highly doubtful that I would get 2. However, if I even got a bad lead, which I probably would have with the good lead rating of 2 of Hedges, that would bring my base stealing opportunity up 5. That's the highest modifier that you can have on a pitcher-catcher combo for Hedges. We've got a minus for Hedges, or excuse me, for Astudillo, he's got a +1. So the combined pitcher-catcher modifier for this base stealing attempt would be +10, but the most you can have is a +5. So that would bring it up to 11. With a bad lead, it would be -4, so it would give you a 7. So it just shows you the impact of a bad hold rating by Gant, and the impact that it could have with a base runner that has the potential to steal. Alright, so top of the Indians order, Hedges at first. We will not hold Hedges. We're going to play infield normal. Jimenez is up. Had a home run in the second inning. So that is a 6 and an 11 against the left-handed batting Jimenez. A 6 and 11 is a fly ball, right field X. So our right fielder is Kirilloff. He is a 4 and a 5, I believe. Yep, 4 and a 5. Couldn't read my writing. I'm going to roll on the super advanced fielding chart. So that's an 11 on a 4 is going to be an SI2. And then a 5 and a 10 is a blank. So we have an SI2, single, runners advance 2 bases. So Jimenez gets his second hit of the day. It's going to move Hedges over to third. And the Twins have runners facing them on the corners. going to bring up Eddie Rosario next. Rosario is 1 for 3 in the game so far. He had a single in the first, strikeout in the fourth. Jimenez will be held at first. So Rosario is a left-handed hitter. It's going to mean that Simmons and Sano are going to work together to keep Jimenez at first. I am going to try to steal with Jimenez, try to move him over to second base. So I'm going to roll. So that's a 4. He does get a good lead. Pitcher-catcher combo, this is almost a given. The 12, Jimenez steals second. Indians are able to break up that double play. So Jimenez gets a stolen base. I think the best odds that were on that was a 19. I don't think you can have higher than a 19 when it comes to a stolen base rating, and with that good lead, there was no way that was going to be even close. So Gant is facing a dilemma here. 2 runners in scoring position. We have Rosario at the plate. The pitch. No one's being held. Infield's playing normal. That's a 5. A 5 and a 5 against the left-handed batter is a single, 1-9. Ground ball, first base, 10-20. So that's a ground ball, first base B. So that's going to result in a 3-1 put out for the second out. That's going to move the runners over, I believe. Runners on second and third, a 5. Otherwise, batter out, runners hold. Wasn't hit to second base for shortstop. So Gant gets lucky. Rosario is retired. It's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. Not who you want in this situation. He'll be hitting from the left side. 2 down. It's a 6 and a 9. Goes to Gant's card. 6 and a 9 is a ground ball, shortstop X. It's going to be hit to Simmons. He was a 1 and a 16. Best defensive player the Twins have out of position players. It's a 5 and a 13. Excuse me. 5 is going to be a G1. And a 16 and a 13 is a blank. So that's going to be a 6-3 put out for Simmons to Sano. Ramirez is retired. Indians leave 2. And after 6, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Twins trailing 7-1. Bieber remains on the mound. Should point out though that both bullpens are active. Caleb Thielbar, left-handed thrower for the Twins, is up, as well as Ralph Garza, right-handed pitcher. For Cleveland, Cal Quantrill, right-handed hurler, and Alex Young, the lefty, are warming up in the Cleveland bullpen. But Bieber remains on the mound. Bieber's had a really solid game. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits allowed, with 1 run, which was earned, taking place off of Miguel Sano when he scored on a wild pitch. So let's see if the Twins can get something going here. Got Alex Kirilloff, the right fielder, up at the plate. Got a righty-lefty matchup here. It's a 2 and a 7. Against a right-handed pitcher is a strikeout. So Kirilloff strikes out. Second strikeout of the game for Kirilloff. 10th strikeout for Bieber. We've got Williams Astudillo up next. La Tortuga. fan favorite in Minnesota. Here we go. Astudillo has a couple of outings as a relief pitcher too. Fun YouTube videos if you want to watch someone throw a 50-mile-an-hour fastball. So that's a 2 and a 6 righty-righty matchup, and that's going to be a home run, 1-7, fly ball to right field, 8-20. So that's a fly ball to right. It's out number 2. We'll call that a deep shot to right. It's going to bring up Trevor Larnach. Larnach on the day is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. That made the third time in the series that Larnach had been hit by a pitch. So 3 hit by pitches over a 2-game stretch. Righty-lefty matchup here. It's a 5 and an 8 is a strikeout. So the 11th strikeout recorded by Bieber. He has hit his point of weakness inning, however, nothing has taken place that would cause him to be in jeopardy of becoming fatigued. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning. So at the end of 6.5, it's the Indians 7 and the Twins 1. I'm just taking a look at this. We have John Gant in for the Twins. Gant is still pitching well. Just adjusting my cards here for a second. That's going to put Franmil Reyes at the plate. So just taking a look at Gant's pitching, he'll reach his point of weakness after the second out of the 7th inning here. Potentially could pitch into the 9th if all things go well. He is the Twins' 3rd pitcher for the game, so we'll see how long we can ride him. We do have Thielbar and Garza up and ready to go for the Twins. So Reyes is up. Reyes is 1 for 3 with a home run in the second. Big part of the run production in the second inning when the Indians were able to take a 7-0 lead. So here we go. It's a 6 and a 6. Gant is a right-handed hurler. Reyes is a right-handed hitter. That results in a strikeout. So Gant records his first strikeout. And that's 1 down. Josh Naylor is up next. Love the action card of Naylor here. Pretty neat looking card. Got a righty-lefty matchup here. Naylor on the date is 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the second. A couple ground outs on his other at-bats. That's a 3 and an 8 against the right-handed pitcher. 3 and an 8 is a single to left field. So Naylor gets on base. 3rd hit allowed by Gant. Brings up the right-handed hitting Harold Ramirez. I noticed, I think I mentioned this earlier, that I didn't see a card for Ramirez in the Topps season set. However, he does, I know, have one in the Heritage set. So Naylor's on first. Excellent stealing rating should he get a good lead. Twins are hoping for a double play here, so we're going to try for a good lead. I need to roll snake eyes for that. Nope, no mishap occurred. So Naylor does not get the jump. Infield is playing normal. It's hoping for that double play. So that's a 3 and a 5 against the right-handed pitcher. 3 and a 5 is a triple 1-3. A single 2 stars 4 through 20. It's a 17, so that's a single 2 stars. Naylor goes to 3rd. Ramirez goes to 1st. So 4th hit given up by Gant. We'll let him pitch another batter here, see if we can't get that double play. So we've got Brad Zimmer up next. Zimmer is 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. I guess we could put Zimmer, keep Zimmer there, and put this up here, another great action shot. I'm going to try for a good lead with Ramirez. Like to get him over to second base, break up that double play. He is not being held, so I need a 5, so it's a 7. So no good lead. Infield is playing normal. See if we can't get that double play and get out of this inning. So that's a 3 and a 9 against the right-handed pitcher. 3 and a 9 is a strikeout. So Gant bears down, gets another strikeout. Second on the day for Zimmer. Second on the day for Gant. And that's going to bring Ahmed Rosario up. Rosario is 0 for 3 on the day. Hit into a fielder's choice in the second, struck out in the third, ground out pitcher to first in the sixth. So here we go. 2 down, runners on the corners. And that's a 3 and an 8 against a right-handed pitcher. 3 and an 8 is another strikeout. So Gant is able to get through the inning, records 3 strikeouts. All 3 of the Indians' outs were of the strikeout variety. And at the end of 7, the Indians strand 2 and lead 7-1 over the Twins. Top of 8, Cleveland 7, Twins 1. Bieber is still on the mound. Quantrill and Young are ready to go in the Indians bullpen. Rob Refsnyder is up. He is 0 for 2 on the date. Strikeout in the first. Bieber does have 11 strikeouts in the game. Only has allowed 2 hits. Should make mention also that for the Indians, Harold Ramirez, we have a cycle watch going on with him. If he gets a home run, he'll have hit for the cycle in this game. He has 2 singles, a double, and a triple through 4 at-bats. So we'll see if Ramirez is able to get another at-bat, and we'll see if he gets that home run. So potential cycle opportunity here. So Rob Refsnyder, Twin center fielder, is up against Bieber. Our pitch, a 2 and an 8 against the right-handed pitcher, is a ground ball second base. So that's a ground out 4-3. Arise to, Jimenez to Ramirez. First out, recorded. And Dalton Simmons is up next for the Twins. That's a 1 and a 4. 1 and a 4 against a right-handed pitcher is a strikeout. So that is the 12th strikeout on the day for Bieber. Second of the game for Simmons. And that's going to bring up the top of the Twins order. Luis Arise is up. Arise has been hitless in the series, 0 for 7 thus far. Of course, the 2022 American League batting champion. Let's see what happens here. A 2 and a 6. 2 and a 6 against the right-handed pitcher is a double, 1-8, a single, 9-20. So Arise finally gets on base via a hit with a single. And the Twins have a runner on with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Oh, I think we're doing this. So it's been interesting this past week. There's been some scuttlebutt on the internet about the Twins shopping Arise for some potential pitching that's out there. You know, Arise doesn't really have a home. He's kind of a utility player. But I got to tell you, as a Twins fan, he brings an element of interest to their at-bats. I really feel one of the things lacking from this Twins organization and team is a complete lack of passion. They're a pretty boring team to watch. There aren't a lot of personalities on this team, in my opinion. The young players have all gotten hurt. You know, you don't have an Eddie Rosario there anymore. You don't have a Donaldson. Of course, Contreras got taken away from the Twins via the free agent market with his huge contract in San Francisco. To me, Luis Arraez is one of the few players on this team that actually shows an interest in playing the game when he's on the field. It looks like he gives 110% with every at-bat, and it looks like he has fun out there. So just as a Twins fan, I hope they don't end up getting rid of Arraez. I just don't think they would get anything of significant value in a trade with him. So let's get back to Strat O Matic. So Donaldson is up. Arraez is on first. 0 for 3 in the game for Donaldson. Infield is playing normal. And that is a 4 and a 6. 4 and a 6 against the right-handed hitting Donaldson is another strikeout. So Bieber is able to get out of the 8th with his second strikeout of the inning, 13th strikeout of the game. And after 7.5, Cleveland 7 and the Twins 0. Twins are going to bring Gant out, see how long they can take advantage of his arm. Try to give that bullpen a little bit more rest. Twins have gone through quite a few relievers so far in the series. Gant has reached his point of weakness, so that is something to keep an eye on. And again, Thielbar and Garza are ready to go in the bullpen for the Twins if needed. So the catcher Austin Hedges is up for Cleveland. Hedges is 1 for 2 in the game. He had a walk in the 6th, single in the 2nd, strikeout in the 3rd. See if he can start the Indians here in the bottom of the 8th. That's a 2 and a 6 against a against the right-handed pitcher. 2 and a 6 is a strikeout. So Hedges strikes out, first out of the inning. That would be the 4th strikeout for Gant. Brings up Andres Jimenez. Jimenez had a home run in the 2nd, a single in the 6th. He's 2 for 4 in today's game. It's a 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5 against the righty is another strikeout. Wow. The two pitchers are pitching lightning right now. It's the 5th strikeout for Gant, so 2 down now. It's going to bring up Eddie Rosario. I was talking about Twins, and their seemingly lack of passion. Rosario was a fun player to watch. You just never knew what to expect from him. And I always just had a feeling he was kind of a clutch player. He was a guy that you'd want up at the plate if the game was on the line. He would do some stupid things in the outfield defensively, but he was just a fun player to watch. So I was a little disappointed when he parted ways with the Twins as well. So we've got Rosario up, 2 outs. On the day, Rosario is 1 for 4. Single, stolen base in the 1st, and was able to score in the 1st as well for the first Indians run. That's a 5 and a 6 against the left-handed batter, and that's a walk. So Rosario draws a 2-out walk. It's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. I'll leave that there. I'll put Ramirez right here. So with 2 outs, Ramirez is up. We're going to try for a good lead with Rosario again. A 4 or a 6 results in that good lead. And that's a good lead. So Gant has a +9 hold rating. You've got a arm rating of Astudillo, our catcher, of +1, so that's a +10, but the most modifier you can have is a +5. So we're going to add 5 to Rosario's 18, which is a 23. However, he was being held on base, so the best roll, or best that he can have, is a 19. So on a 1 through 19, Rosario will have the second stolen base of the game. That's a 1. That's going to result in a potential throwing error by the catcher. So we're going to look at Astudillo's throwing area. It's a 1 through 4. So on a 1 through 4, ball's going to go into the outfield, and Rosario is going to stretch his stolen base to a trip to third. So here we go, 1 through 4. That's a 5, so it's missed. So was able to cover, and Rosario's kept to his stolen base. That's second stolen base of the game for Rosario. Cleveland has another runner in scoring position. Infield is going to play normal for Ramirez, switch hitter, batting from the left side. So that is a 6 and an 8. 6 and an 8 against a left-handed batter results in a ground ball, second base A. So that results in a 4-3 put out for the third out. So Gant's able to get through the 8th. I would expect a new Twins pitcher in the 9th. We'll see how that goes. So after 8, it's Cleveland 7 and the Twins 1. Top of the 9th, Twins trail 7-1. Bieber's back on the mound for the Indians. He's looking to pitch a complete game here. He really does have a gem going. He has a total of 13 strikeouts. He's only given up 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned, and then 1 walk. So the Twins have had no success against Bieber in this game. So Francona has Bieber back on the mound to see if he can't get that 9 innings in. So Twins have Kepler, Sano, and Kirilloff up next. Kepler hasn't done anything in this game. He's lined out to second base 3 times in his previous at-bats, so we'll see what happens here. So that is a 2 and a 4 against the right-handed pitching Bieber. 2 and a 4 is a walk. Okay, so Kepler gets on base for the first time this game. The Indians have a 6-run lead here, so not too concerned. And we do have Alex Young and Cal Quantrill ready to go in the bullpen for the Indians. Miguel Sano is up next. He had a single in the second, 2 strikeouts in the 4th and 6th innings. Infield is playing normal, hoping for that double play. Actually, I'm going to change that. They're going to be holding Kepler at first. Kepler has the asterisk, so he'll automatically have a good lead if they don't hold him. His base stealing chance is at 20, so we're going to hold him at first. Otherwise, he'll end up stealing. So Sano is up. He is a right-handed hitter, so our second baseman will be holding Kepler with Ramirez. So Ramirez trying to keep Kepler at first. We're going to roll for a good lead nonetheless. So I need a straight 5 to get that good lead. And I do not. However, a 1 occurs. So we're going to take a look and see what happens here. So he may be picked off. Runner may be picked off. So let's see here. The run rating is 1-14. 1-14 he gets back. 15 or higher, Kepler's picked off. And Kepler is caught stealing. Picked off of first for the first out. Pretty typical of how things are going for the Twins in this series. So Kepler is picked off. Sano is kept at the plate. One down, just like that. And the roll to Sano, a 4 and an 11. Against the right-handed batter is a double 1, single 2 through 20. So a 7. So Sano gets a single. So he is at first, 1 out single. Bieber starting to show a little bit of the effect of fatigue. I want to see him get that complete game, so I'm going to have him stay in there. I think I need to have a combination of 4 after I reach my point of weakness inning. So he'll have fatigue, reaches his POW inning, or any inning after that, and allows any combination of 4 hits or unintentional walks in any 2 consecutive innings. So right now, I've got 1 hit in the 8th to Luis Ariz that he's given up. He's got the walk to Kepler, the hit to Sano, so that's 3 of the 4. So let's see if he can shut these guys down. Alright, so Sano is out there on first base. We've got Kirilloff up at the plate. Kirilloff has had a double in the 2nd and 2 strikeouts. Sano is not a threat. The infield is playing at its normal depth. And that's a 1 and a 9. 1 and a 9 against a right-handed pitcher is a ground ball shortstop A. So that's a double play, folks. It's going to be a 6-4-3. First out is at second with Sano for the 2nd, and then Kirilloff is out on the relay. So Bieber picks up a complete game win. Line is pretty easy to compute for Bieber. Pitched 9 innings, had 3 hits, had 1 run which was earned, 2 walks, and 13 strikeouts. So extremely solid game by Cy Young winner Shane Bieber. The loser for the Twins is Kenta Maeda. Got crushed, only worked 1 2/3 inning, had 6 hits allowed, 5 runs scored, 6 of which were earned. Had a walk, no strikeouts, and 1 wild pitch. The only bright spot for the Twins pitching wise was the relief outing by John Gant. He went 3 1/3, held the Indians to 4 hits, gave up 2 walks with 5 strikeouts. Hitting wise today, Harold Ramirez, 1 home run short of the cycle. He finished the day 4 on 4th with 2 singles, a double, and a triple as well. So the Indians have a 2-0 lead in this 3-game series. We'll see how the Twins are able to do when they come back. One thing I do want to mention, though, I was looking up between innings here for the 2021 complete games, who pitched complete games in 2021. So you had German Marquez, Adam Wainwright, and Zach Wheeler in the National League in 2021 pitched complete games, and Garrett Cole and Sean Manaea had 2 complete games, so 3 each in the National League, and then you had Manaea and Cole with 2 in the American League each. So nothing like it was back in the 70s, 80s, even 90s when it comes to complete games. Are pretty rare. So Bieber was able to get one today. So once again, in conclusion, Cleveland wins 7-1, has a 2-0 edge in the 3-game series so far, and we'll come back soon for Game 3. If you like the video today, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and we'll get you another video real soon. Thanks, everyone.